Hey. Oh no, hiccups are a bitch. Okay. Mom, I think I was on time. I think I have it on hold. What's up? Hoping you didn't spoil on the Straw Hat series. I didn't spoil on the Straw Hat series. The Straw Hat? What the hell's the Straw Hat series? You mean like who's gonna be the next Straw Hat? Was there like things mentioned that I need to know about? Is that what you mean? Because if it is, shut the fuck up. That's my response to that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, copy. You're not gonna spoil me. You can't. Is it One Piece related, Static? Because you've said some words, and I'm not happy about them. Is it One Piece related, sir? Is my question to you. And if it is, Tyrone, what are you doing here? Okay, is it the latest chapter related? Is that what this is? You're on camera with tools.
I need some of the hex shred. Real little two things.
It's over there by the door. By the door. By the door. The door you walked out of. This always happens.
This little thing?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, just grab the whole thing.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Mom is always here. It's fine. She likes it. She said bye this time. Okay, anywho. So, is it the latest chapter related? Static? Because I thought we were still in flashback territory, so I'm curious. Is it fucking shut up, Tyrone. Is it fucking No, I mean, is it the latest chapter that came out, like the last chapter of the year related, or is it something else? If it's something else, you're gonna have to tell me because I don't know. Or how do I find out? I guess is a better question. What is a way for me to find out? You fucked this whole thing up. What was this thing called again? You said the Straw Hat series. What the fuck? Fine. This is what we do. Because I was good. I mean, the video is still gonna be. It's the latest shit. It's the Straw Hat. I might be able to find this fucking chapter real quick. I was not intentionally looking it up, but I did look up the Black Clover one. So I will casually look up the One Piece one real quick. Although I don't think it's translated yet. That's what makes it kind of funny. What's up, Antrite? What's up, Jazz? What's up, Tyrone? We're gonna talk about some stuff, but real quick, I gotta scroll real quick. Oh no, I bet you they don't have it. Let's see. They may not have it. Let's see. Because you brought it up and it pissed me. I know it's not on Viz. I'm talking about other means. I'm not naive enough to recognize that sometimes you have to go beyond the Call of Duty to figure out things. No, give me the... I bet you there's no way for me to get it, and that irks me. Why even bring it up? It makes me mad he brought it up. Fine. I'm gonna wait until it comes out on Viz. Unfortunately, it won't come out on Viz until probably like next fucking week. But okay. I'll be the responsible anime you just fuck, man. That makes me mad because it wasn't something I knew about. But now it's gonna irk me. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, what's up, Red Dragon? What's up, Antrite? Static. I think we're good to go. So essentially, the basis of this Manic episode is going to be, we're gonna guess. Everyone wants to do this whole guess for Nintendo's first party offerings next year. And although that's not a terrible thing to do, it is also very easy and redundant. And it makes me angry because I don't care for that shit. I don't care to be exactly the same. I'm ready to leave this decade behind, most definitely. But so the premise of this video and this stream is going to be to guess Nintendo's third-party offerings, and we're gonna go through company, trying to get a general gist of what we should expect and things along those means. I think people are tired of 2019. Unfortunately, I feel like things that I want to be left in this decade won't be left in this decade, and that's what bothers me more than anything else. I'm trying to check one thing though, because I'm curious. Shit. If the eShop does a feature that I would like it to do. It probably does not, but I'm going to check. How's Ulterior Rise only on sale $6 down? That's not a sale. Final Fantasy is kind of a sale though. Real quick. Because if I can look up through brands on here, that would be great. Something tells me I'm not going to be able to do that. No? Damn it. Nope, I bet you I can't do it. Oh wait, maybe I can. Yeah, I can. I can look up through publishers. What's up, ASAP Rel? What's up, Bad Latency? What's up, British Pokemon 1991? You share the same birth year as me. GG, good man. My prediction is a lot of Japanese support will come. We'll have the Mario Pokemon. And we'll only have the Mario come. People on screen angrily about the weebs. Weird calling someone else Terrell because that's my name. Hey man, we have good choices in names. But to be fair, for those who don't know, Terrell's my middle name. It's actually my first name. I just go by my middle name because my first name is insanely common. Only a few people know what it is, and I had to stop going by it in high school because there was like 4 other people with the same first name. And so Terrell became not high school or elementary school. Like there were 3 other dudes who had the same first name as me. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going by my middle name. And so I've been going by Terrell probably since I was like 6 or 7. Even my mom calls me Terrell. She doesn't call me by my first name anymore. She'll only bring that up occasionally. So luckily, I'm happy. The eShop actually has the feature I was banking on, which was the ability to look up things through publisher, which is great because what I'm going to do is use that as the basis to figure out what we have and what we don't have. So I figured the easiest and the best way to start this is with Sega. Because Sega is kind of our interesting. How is that apparent? I mean, that's not too shocking anyway. I figure if you don't announce in December, it's probably going to be announced in January during Direct because they got to get started on the second season. It'll be announced or released in February is my question. Funny enough, loads of Japanese devs said 2020 would be the year of announcements, so hopefully some Switch stuff. Well, that goes into it. So we're gonna go into it. So we're gonna start off with Sega. Even though Sega has like the most jankiest representation. So I'm looking on the eShop, checking what's actually. I could, you know what well, you guys like to see my face, so I won't do that. I was gonna do the thing where I like put a small corner of the screen maybe dedicated, but would you guys prefer I do that, like put the eShop up? But it's fine. Is it Louise or Lewis? I'm gonna say Louise because it's British, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, February release. So let's start off with Sega. So Sega, most people realize that Sega's been going through what I like to call a Capcom era of getting their shit together. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, all right, I'll do that then. I'll pull the eShop on. Give me 1 second. I gotta actually hook this up. Fuck. something new. Yeah, I saw that Atlas recently mentioned Shin Megami Tensei 5. At source, where is it? Game capture. You didn't detect a goddamn thing. Fuck you. There it is. Okay, cool. Damn it. There's not a way to do this and it not take up like a good chunk of the screen. So I'm gonna. It's not the greatest situation. I know it's probably not the most visible, but we're gonna go through this and hopefully give us an idea of what we're dealing with here. So let me move this over here and let's talk. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is what we have. This is our Sega representation. It's 26 titles, and to be fair, what it's really devolved into is a bunch of Sonic, a bunch of classic games, Valkyria Chronicles, 4 and 1, the classic games, Super Monkey Ball remake, Puyo Puyo, a bunch of old arcade games. And then that's it. That's it. That's literally our Sega representation. So the question is, what are we going to see? Now, it's 2020 and the last main Sonic game came out in 2017. So I'm pretty sure, for me personally, I have a very good bet we're going to get the next Sonic game announcement next year. The question is, and I have no doubt in my mind it'll be on Nintendo system. Like, that's just how... I think there's only 2 Sonic main titles that have never been on Nintendo systems, which I believe was actually, is it just one? I think it's just 06. I think 06 was the only one, because we got Unleashed, we got a different version of it. We got Unleashed. Oh no, Generations was the other one. Generations and 06 were the only 2 Sonic games we never got, and only one of them I really fucking wanted. And Generations, I don't even know if they'd be willing to port that one. Everyone's probably talking about it because next gen is coming for 2 of the consoles. So yeah, Sonic Generations and 06, because we got every other game. So I'm pretty confident in believing that we're going to get a Sonic announcement of some sort moving into next year. If you want me to make the eShop screen bigger, let me know. I think I can get away with doing it a little bit. I just can't like move my head much at all. So that's one thing though. I mean, that's just one game, and Sonic is what I consider a safe bet because we, for the most part, always get Sonic. And like I said, we haven't gotten a main game. The only other game I guess I can mention is Panzer Dragoon, which, I mean, we already knew we were getting Panzer Dragoon. Well, yeah, I guess we had it on 3DS, but I count the main game more than the 3DS port. So the games we have to talk about is Hatsune Miku, which maybe that one wouldn't surprise me, and we do get those on 3DS, so it wouldn't surprise me if we got a port of that on the main system. You got Panzer Dragoon, which is only confirmed, which has already been confirmed, and the only other title of note would be Soccer Wars, which right now is only like Japan exclusive for Sega right now. Like, that's already come out. Well, Bayonetta 3, I know that's technically Sega because they partially own that IP, but we already know about Bayonetta 3, so I felt like there was no need to bring it up. I'm pretty sure at the very least we'll see footage of it, even if it doesn't come out this year. I mean next year, which I think it probably will. Like, I have very little doubt that we're not going to get Bayonetta 3 next year. Or at the very least, it's going to be early 2021. It's a little surprising it's taken this long, which makes me think that Bayonetta 3 was in early development when it was first announced. Oh, chill out, Type Sad, you savage. Okay, Kotsuki, make it bigger. Yeah, alright. I can make it a little bit bigger than... let's see. What if I put it over here? I'll make it bigger for a little bit while I'm talking about it. So this is, like I said, these are our major offerings with Sega. And Sega really hasn't put a lot on here. It's a little bit more variety than one would think, but it still devolves into Sonic old games, Puyo Puyo, and Valkyria Chronicles, which is a very niche series as it is anyway. What's up, DJ Mega Man? Mega Aim, I'm sorry. So Panzer Dragoon, Sakura Wars isn't even out in the States, doesn't even have a confirmed Western release date. There's no guarantee that's even coming out over here. So I'm not going to be unrealistic and believe that we're going to get Sakura Wars. Also, because that's a niche ass franchise in the first place. Miku. I thought we didn't we. No, that's right. We never got any of those. So I can imagine maybe a port of an old game or maybe a new game for the Hatsune Miku franchise. Yakuza's another franchise that we don't have any representation for. That one is more possible, but considering that the strategy for most third-party developers have been so far is to put a bunch of fucking old ass games on there. Even if we get Yakuza, it's probably gonna be like Yakuza, like an older Yakuza game. And that's if Sega even wants to put in the finances to do that. Now, Nintendo and Sega have been pretty cool, but they've always been pretty cool, and that never really translated to a lot of different kinds of games. Sega, the problem with Sega is, like I said, they're going through this period where they're only really pushing like one or two main series titles. If we got Catherine, I can only imagine us getting Catherine, not Catherine Full Body, because that's kind of how Nintendo handles things. I guess we gotta include Atlas stuff into here, because Atlas now is a part of Sega, so we have to acknowledge them. Because the only reason why I wouldn't say any other, I mean, Monkey Ball is a this is them trying out Monkey Ball to see if people still want one, and they picked a game that people don't like that much. It's not like the worst game in the franchise, but from what I've heard, people aren't that keen on Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. So, but I guess we'll include some Atlas stuff in here. I mean, we're getting Scramble. We're getting Shin Megami Tensei 5. The only thing I could potentially see is importing one of the older Personas. And that's if they're even willing to do that. The other Sega game we can mention is potentially an old port of the Shenmue. Like maybe the first or second Shenmue game. I doubt we'll get 3. We might get Shenmue 1 or 2. I'm just scrolling through the list here. See, they really haven't put out a lot of variety. It's been a lot of fucking like ports and like these one-off games. They could potentially announce another Valkyria Chronicles, because it's been what, 2 years? 2 years, 2 or 3 years going. Well, it'll be going into a third year for VC. I'm just gonna say VC because I cannot consistently pronounce that name. But a lot of their games have it's just been a lot of like Sonic every year, and like maybe the one or two other mainstay titles. They just don't do a lot of their older titles, which is a problem, but that's the reality we're dealing with here. Let's see. If we're talking, I think they're so concerned with 5. I don't think we're gonna get a spin-off series. I know what you're talking about, though. You're talking about the ones that came out on the DS, like Devil Survival, and there was a few other ones I'm forgetting. Well, we're gonna get don't worry, we're gonna get the Square. We're gonna get the Square next, because realistically, I don't think there's anything else to talk about Sega. Like I said, Sega unfortunately is in this period where they're only really relying on like 2 or 3 franchises. I think they're trying to get out of that, because the fact that they even decided to bring back Sakura Wars, which is niche as hell, or Panzer Dragoon Remake, which is also niche as hell, I think they're trying to make a transition. But I guess here's a question for you guys. Of the Sega franchises we know we love, which of their old school franchises would you want to see a return to? Because it seems like they're on the kick to do that again, to like bring back an older franchise. Like I said, Panzer Dragoon, Sakura Wars, VC, those are franchises that aren't like highly popular. And I don't think Yakuza's going any fucking where. So what old school Sega franchise would you be down for them bringing back? Because they seem to be in the mood for doing that anyway. I just want to see where your guys' minds are at. Because for me, I probably would say it's gonna. Oh, that's the other one I forgot to mention. Phantasy Star, the one that's coming out on Xbox. That seems like a weird fucking choice too. I wonder if we'll get a Switch port of that, because I think there already is a Switch version of that game. I think it's just Japan exclusive. I completely forgot about Phantasy Star. Phantasy Star, I would think we might get that, because I'm pretty sure that I know 2 is supposed to be coming on Xbox. I cannot believe they would think to only put that on Xbox. So for me, I'm thinking that might be, yeah. I'm thinking we might get that Phantasy Star 2 online. Was it 2 online or was it 3 online? I think I'm going to say 2 online. If I had to be real with you, I probably would say Knights has a better chance than Billy Hatcher. Knights is one of the only other franchises in Sega's repertoire that you would think of Sega when you thought, like, if I'm thinking Sega, Knights is like top 3 characters I'm thinking of. It's like Alex Kidd, Knights, and Sonic, or Sonic, Alex Kidd, Knights. Like, those are the 3 IPs I think of. If I had to pick the one I'm the most interested in, I'm trying to think. Yeah, time exclusive. That's what I expect, because it's Xbox and they can't be trusted. If I had to pick one that I like, the one I think is the most likely would be Knights, because Knights' last game was on the Wii. Actually, and then remind me, didn't they do Jet Set Radio? Or am I wrong with that? I'm pretty sure that's Sega. Is Jet Set Radio? I forget because it's been so long since I've seen it. But I'm pretty sure Jet Set Radio is Sega, right? Yeah. I thought it was. So that's another one. I think Jet Set Radio would be the one I'd be the most interested in playing. Crazy Taxi. Like, and this is the problem with Sega. Sega has a bunch of fucking IPs that they just don't support, which is fucking insane. But like I said, I think next year is going to be the year of transitioning for them. Like, they're gonna like legit start making like heavy efforts to like change up the game, because the shit they've been doing now, you can't really keep that up. Not in this current. Yeah, like I said, it's fucking Sega has so much. So the next one we're gonna do is Square Enix, because that's the one that makes sense to do next. Sega, it just turns into a situation of I want them to bring this back. So let me pull up Square Enix's list, and we see what we got to work with. Let's see. Let me pull it up. And then we're gonna jump into Capcom right afterwards, because Square and Capcom have the same fucking strategy for Switch ports. Now, actually, ironically enough, Square has less games than fucking Sega does, but some would say Squares are more heavy hitting. It's pretty much Final Fantasy 8, 7, 9, 10, 10-2, 12, then Dragon Quest 1 through 3, Collection of Mana, then we're getting the Secret of Mana remake, Star Ocean, Ononaki, World of Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, Fear Effect. A lot of the smaller, to be fair, Square games, but still, Trials of Mana. That's the remake we're getting. And then we recently got Bravely Second. That'd be surprising. If new Sonic isn't until 2021, I would be surprised. Because Sonic, they've been pretty consistent about having a game out for almost every year. And it's been like 3 years since the last main game. But or did they actually confirm that it's supposed to be until 2021? If they confirmed, that's one thing. But like, realistically, there's no way I believe they would skip a year. So yeah, this is our 23 titles, which primarily is filled with like a bunch of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Actually, why the hell isn't Dragon Quest 11? I guess because they count that as being published by. Do they count Dragon Quest as being published by Nintendo? I guess because Nintendo published that one. I guess that's the reason why. But Dragon Quest 11. So, considering Final Fantasy, the only two new games they've really put out. Well, I guess it's more like, If we're thinking like current gen games, we obviously got some ports of some lower tier titles, but you got stuff like Ononaki, World of Final Fantasy Maxima is this generation, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is this generation. What else? And then the Trials of Mana and Dragon Quest 11. But for the most part, Square's been handling the Switch in the sense of, hey, let's put out a bunch of old ass ports. Oh, for the 30th anniversary. Don't remind me. Like I said, me and Sonic are the same age, so when Sonic turns 30, I turn 30. Woo! But if we're talking Square, I'm surprised almost all of it ain't on Switch. Well, Dragon Quest has a good chunk of games to go through, to be fair. And Dragon Quest also went through that period where it was like PlayStation exclusive for a while. Like, I think it was actually starting with, was it 7 is when it started? It was 7, 8. No, because then Dragon Quest ended up becoming handheld. So we right now, Dragon Quest, we have 1 through 3 and then 11. 10, I think, was the MOBA game. And then the other ones are like on the DS, the 3DS. Like fucking, what is it, 8, 9, I think are on. I know, and then we got the remake. No, we got the remake of 7 and 8. No, we got the remake of 6, 7, and 8, I think, on the 3DS. Dragon Quest has been making its return to Nintendo, but it's been kind of a slower burn. But if we're guessing what titles, because that's what we're doing here, what titles we're gonna get next year, we have what? Next year we have Dying Light 2, Outriders, Circuit Superstars, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which has already been confirmed for Switch. Actually, so is Circuit Superstars, actually. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Marvel's Avengers. I think those are the main ones. I know we're not getting the remake, and I know we're not getting Marvel's Avengers. Actually, the remake is only right now on PlayStation anyway. So, if we had to be real with it, I'm expecting more ports from Square. As much as it hurts for me to acknowledge that, that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 did decent. Like, I think it was worth the porting process. It'll never hit as hard as, like, Japan's love for that series. They're just, like, the Western audience just, for one, those are big-ass experiences that you have to dedicate a ridiculous amount of time to. And Americans don't want to do that for Japanese RPGs. They'll do it for Western ones all day, but they won't do it for Japanese ones. Yeah, it just stayed on the handhelds. Life is Strange wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm banking we really have almost all the Final Fantasies. Except for the old school ones. So if it depends on which way, I doubt what it really is probably going to be 13. If they give us any more Final Fantasy, newer Final Fantasy, it's going to be 13. It's probably going to be 13. Or if we get what I like to call like reports of like the older Final Fantasies, like 6 and back, that's possible. But if I had to take a guess, if it's a newer Final Fantasy, it's probably 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, that shit. Or it's probably going to be maybe 6. It's either 6 or 13. Those are my two guesses. 6 or 13 for Final Fantasy. I'm going to throw out a wild one. Because like I said, Square and Capcom have a very similar regiment of how they want to handle giving Nintendo gamers their products. It's been a bunch of fucking ports. So my only other guess would be between, for other than Final Fantasy, is that if I remember correctly, they I think they're not the developers, but they're like the publisher for the Tomb Raider games. I would think we would probably get ports of Tomb Raider 2013 and maybe Rise. I don't think we'll get Shadow, but we'll probably get at least one or two of the new Tomb Raider games. That's another guess. We obviously have Bravely Default 2 to come. No. They don't have the first 6 games. We're not going to talk about 13's quality because that's a whole nother issue. Realistically, they'll come up with like a Final Fantasy 13 collection and all the consoles will get it, including Switch. But if I had to take a guess, it probably would be Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is another port guess. I'm trying to rack my brain on what else they could possibly give us. Because the problem is they publish a lot of shit. Let's see. What else could you do? Actually, they've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy seems to be the main push for them. It always has been. And then obviously we got The World Ends With You. That was the other thing we got. I don't... Nier isn't impossible. Actually, Nier came out in what, 2017? I don't know if they would port Nier. Nier is possible. Depends, but Nier is possible. It's not like I said, like they're not as bad as I like view other companies, but Jesus, but like it's gonna be a lot of old games. Like I don't imagine anything new because we're not getting Marvel, we're not getting what's the other one I'm missing? Marvel and Final Fantasy 7 remake. So it's either 6, 13, Tomb Raider. I'm banking one of the Tomb Raiders, maybe a port of one of the other Dragon Quest games. We might get a Deus Ex port. And I guess the one that a lot of people want to bring up is probably Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, they put so much time in 13, the 13 series, it doesn't make sense for them not to do any of it. So my guess is more than likely they're probably going to do the 13 series. But Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts up until was it this year? Is it this year or next year? Was like the main games were Sony exclusive. So my guess going into this is that I would think if you're putting Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 and I think 2.8 on Xbox, there's no way for me not to believe at the very least we're getting 1.5 and 2.5. We may not get 2.8 and we may not get 3, but we are definitely getting the first 2 games, like the first 2 final remixes. Like that, to me, that there's no way in hell you couldn't justify putting that on Nintendo Switch, considering those are old PlayStation 2 games or 3D. Half of those were on original Nintendo systems anyway. Yeah, Tomb Raider is another one, so it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Well, Kingdom Hearts, I mean, that and 2 is a better game than 3, but I could get in trouble for that one. But yeah, there's no way for me not to believe that Square wouldn't think to go, oh, I'm going to put Kingdom Hearts out. Maybe not all of them, but I imagine 1.5, 2.5 at least. Is there any other Square title you guys can think of that probably could be included? Because I think I've covered all the major ones they would do. And they do have new games coming out. Like the fact that we have Bravely Default 2 and Trials of Mana remake. Like, we have other games. No. Remember, it got ported to... It recently got announced to port it to Xbox. That's part of the reason why I'm bringing up Kingdom Hearts again. If it wasn't for the Xbox ports, I wouldn't care. Kingdom Hearts, yeah. Kingdom Hearts has a strong enough fan base that people wouldn't give a fuck. Hitman, maybe. Hitman seems like a weird choice, but that's not out of the possibility. Oh, the other game I forgot that Sega put out was fucking Alien Isolation, a port of that one. Yeah, Days X. Also, what's up, Strategic Productions? Don't know if I've seen you here before. Dragon Quest Monsters. That's fair. Yeah, about to say, yeah, Kingdom Hearts to me is not out of the realm of possibility. I don't believe they wouldn't do it. But I think realistically, that's all we have. Unless you guys have some other suggestions, I think that's all for Square. It'll be a bunch of ports. Tomb Raider released Rise in 2013. 2013 and Rise, Final Fantasy 6 or 13 trilogy, maybe some of the older Dragon Quest games, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5. You got Bravely Second. You got Trials of Mana. I think that's it. Kingdom Hearts will eclipse Final Fantasy one day. I don't know if it'll ever eclipse it. It can get close, but the quality of that third game was like, and the games take so long to come out. That's the other problem. Stream Fortnite. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Parasite Eve. I forgot about that series. I think they did, too. Shit. Parasite Eve is one of them franchises. You know why I remember Parasite Eve? Only because when I first got, I traded my, it's funny, I traded my Dreamcast for a PlayStation, and the first batch of games I got, one of them was Parasite Eve. I don't know why the fuck I thought that was smart in retrospect, to get rid of my Dreamcast for a PlayStation, but I did it, and that's the reason why I remember Parasite Eve. It's because Parasite Eve was one of the first games I got for that PlayStation. But I think, oh, The Strategist. That's well, okay. I remember that name. 13th birthday. 13th birthday. What the hell is that? Is that a game? That's not a game. Or am I tripping? Let's see. I heard the main character, Parasite Eve, was going to be in Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I was like, Kingdom Hearts sold well. Does it deserve to is a different story, though. But it did sell well. It just wasn't as, like, highly praised. But that's besides the point. So, I guess we're done with Square. So what we shall move on next is my boy Capcom. Capcom, for some reason, has been going through what I like to call like a renaissance or a revival within the last few years. And I'm not mad at them. And once again, their software output isn't anything crazy. It's about on the same tier. And it's also filled with a bunch of fucking ports. Hey, look. Okami port. Monster Hunter port. Resident Evil ports. Phoenix Wright ports. Mega Man ports. I forgot Dragon's Dogma came out. I'll be real with you. The Beat 'em Up bundle. Resident Evil. Mega Man. Devil May Cry. The ZX series, which is a little surprising considering the ZX series is fucking, if I remember right, was on the DS's when those started. So, yeah. The next thing on our list is Capcom. So, if we look at the game lineup we have, they've essentially ported almost every Resident Evil. Because we have the remake, where is it? Yeah, the remake of 1. The only one we don't have is 2 and 3. Which both have remakes out now. Well, 3 will have a remake out soon. But 1, 2, and 3 are missing, obviously. 4, where the hell is 5 at? Oh, 5, 6, And 7 technically is already on the Switch due to the cloud version that's in Japan. So the question then becomes, what the fuck is next? If we're looking at Resident Evil, what is more likely? Because we're going to pick one from every franchise that is represented here. You have 2 and 3 remakes. You have 7. You have 7 and then 2 and 3 remakes. If you had to ask me which one I think is more likely to show up, I probably would bet on 7. I think we'll get 7 before we even get the remakes. I think personally we were more likely to get 7 than to get 2 or 3 because 7's already been tested as a cloud service. So I'm curious if they're willing to like double down on it as like a full experience. The fact that they were so quick to port 7 as a cloud version is also a little surprising to me. So I'm curious. I'm curious where that's going to go. Oh, well, we're going to get the street. We're going to get to the fighting games. I know those are like that's another main question. I don't think we're going to get any of the I don't think we'll get 4. Well, I don't think they would port 4 because people wouldn't give a fuck because 4 that's what I'm saying. I said 7's a higher bet than the Resident Evil 2 or 3 remakes. I just think they'd be more likely to do 7. The only other thing I could see them doing is maybe porting like Resident Evil, what is it, Code Veronica? That's the other one. Battle Network, I don't even know what. Actually, in retrospect, they could do that. Like I said, Capcom's been going through a renaissance, and we know that they've already put out a good chunk of their old like faves. Like X is fully represented. If anything that isn't represented Mega Man wise is probably classic. No, we have the original Legacy Collection. Wait, do we? Where the hell's Legacy 1? That's Legacy 2. Where the hell's Legacy 1? That's the X Legacy Collection. What? Where the hell is Legacy 1? You telling me Legacy 1 doesn't fucking exist? No. Where the fuck? I know we have Legacy 1. That would be absolute blasphemy. Am I missing it? Do y'all see Legacy 1 on here? Two. I actually forgot Omnimusha was on here. Hold up. Where the fuck is... Hold up. Hold the fuck up. We're gonna search this real quick. Because I'm like, where the hell's the first Mega Man? Here we go. Fuck. Where are you? Oh, for some reason, did Nintendo publish that? Is that why? No, that's the X. No. That's X. Yeah, why does the Mega Man Legacy Collection not show? That's weird. Thank you, brand searching. That's stupid. What? Oh, fuck you, Capcom. Christ almighty. They don't even have all the games properly searched. It's so stupid. It's besides the point. Anyways, so we have all the Mega Man games. Battle Network or Legends? I would think Legends because they could easily like announce a new Legends game and then essentially port the first 2 Legends games. I would bank on Legends games more than I would bank on like Battle Network because Battle Network kind of represents a certain time in Mega Man history. Of course, Devil May Cry, it's probably going to be 4. 4 is the only game that isn't ported yet because there's already a port. I think they already announced 3. And they have a triple pack coming out in Japan. So more likely we'll get Devil May Cry 4. So Devil May Cry will have 1 through 4. I'm banking on a Legends 3 announcement mixed with a Legends 1 and 2 port. Resident Evil, I'm banking on a 7 port because that's the one that makes the most sense. What else? And then I guess we could bring up Monster Hunter because that is something we need to address. Right now, the only Monster Hunter we have is Generations Ultimate. which I believe is also called like Monster Hunter Double Cross. It's like XX. They gave it a different name, but it's essentially Monster Hunter XX. I believe so. Or am I wrong? Is that a different one? I'm pretty sure this is Monster Hunter XX though. They're just calling it something different. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure this is Monster Hunter Double Cross. So let's look. I'm gonna go check real quick what Monster Hunter's 2020 release is gonna be. That's what I'm thinking, a new exclusive Monster Hunter. Yeah, the Zero series is probably one of the weirder ports I expect. I never expected to get that. So what we got next year is, oh, there's a special edition of Devil May Cry 3 coming out. Oh no, that's the Switch port. I'm sorry. So we got the Mega Man stuff. We got, the Zero, the Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection, Monster Hunter Worlds DLC, Resident Evil 3. And that's pretty much it. Capcom doesn't have a lot. I mean, obviously we got like supposedly, let's see, potentially some Ace Attorney stuff could come over. We might get some more Ace Attorney games because I think we need it. So the last thing we really can bring up when it comes to Capcom that is still relevant is a fighting game, right? Obviously. What Capcom fighting game are we going to get, if any? Because we haven't really gotten any fighting game support from them other than the old Street Fighter ports. Which, obviously is not going to fucking cut it. Because we are people of culture and we deserve more. No, Yakuza second. We already brought up Yakuza. If we get I hope it's Yakuza 0. That's the one I keep hearing the greatest things about. And the one I have yet to finish. So if anything, I'm thinking it'll probably be Yakuza 0. But let's talk fighting games real quick. Fighting games. So we have a few options. We have Street Fighter. We have Marvel vs. Capcom. We have the Versus series in general. And then the question then becomes, what game are we going to get? And for me, I have two ideas. Capcom and Nintendo aren't like crazy friends, but they're still like, they're still like cool with each other and everything. So if I had to take a shot in the dark and take a guess, Street Fighter 4 just seems counterproductive considering you're still pushing 5 like nobody's business. But 4 hasn't had any ports. They haven't ported 4 to anything. I could see 4 as a possibility that they do like a major port of 4 and put it out on everything. I mean, hell, you had 4 on the 3D fucking S, so there's a potential you could put 4 out on like Switch and Xbox. But what I think is more likely is probably porting like the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Particularly, I don't know why they haven't even made a Marvel vs. Capcom collection 1, 2, and 3 because no one wants to play Infinite. Well, that's probably why. That's probably the main reason why. That they would have to clear it with Disney to get the license to port Marvel vs. Capcom. But if you want to ask me what is going to be the most likely, I think of any fighting game from Capcom we get, the one that makes the most sense to me is maybe an exclusive one. And a lot of you think that might be a little bit ridiculous, but if I had to bet money on it, I think it's more likely we are going to get a Nintendo exclusive fighter. It might be a sequel to Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, but we are going to get like a either an old versus series that has gone, because realistically there's Nintendo is like the only company I feel like in gaming that like Capcom could make a fuck ton of money off of if you made a Nintendo versus Capcom series. That's almost like no brainer to me. Like realistically, like do Nintendo versus Capcom. That's my guess personally. So when we're talking fighting games, that's what I would think. So we might get a new Monster Hunter that's like Switch exclusive. I'm thinking exclusive, and then obviously we have, because Capcom hasn't really announced anything specific to Switch that's like brand new titles, right? Nah. So either a port of Resident Evil 7, maybe the Mega Man Legends collection, Devil May Cry 4. I'm thinking either either Capcom versus Nintendo, or maybe a port of the Ultimate. Maybe actually, I guess Street Fighter 4. See, it's hard. It's only fucking hard because of the caliber of shit we're dealing with here. I mean, they wouldn't do a Marvel vs. DC. That's just not gonna happen. That just won't happen. I already know. And if it does happen, it's gonna take a while for it to happen. But I think that's really, unless there's any other comments, I think that's all we can really do for Capcom personally. There's not a lot, and I think realistically it's gonna be a similar situation in the sense that more ports with maybe like 1 or 2 new games. Unless, like I said, unless you guys have more suggestions. Those are the only ones I can think of, though. But to me, Nintendo vs. Capcom would make the most sense. Alright. I think we're good with that. So the next thing we're going to try to do is probably Bandai. Bandai will probably be our last one because it's getting on an hour, and I do have to go back to work tomorrow. So I can take the gun. Street Fighter 6... I don't know. Because that is true. There's been rumors of 6. I don't know. Because Capcom doesn't remember Power Stone. That's why. Well, Tekken 7. Hey, look. Mars already on the ball of where I was going next. Which is Bandai. That's the next one I'm going for. But... I'm trying to see. Oh, Battle Network has like. Oh yeah, because that was when the Wii U started playing GBA games, wasn't it? Like towards the end of the life cycle, they started allowing like GBA Virtual Console, if I remember correct. I mean, Manga Stream killing their site was primarily due to like the bullying finally got through. They finally the companies finally put that site out of commission, and they had tried a few times and did relatively heavy work. Now it's just fucking dead. I'm just moved on with that. But yeah, I think the last company we'll do today is Bandai. So that's what we'll do. So let me pull up Bandai real quick. Boom! There we go. So our Bandai choices is obviously a bunch of it's gonna be a bunch of anime shit. Anime shit because that's what Bandai does. I do like the fact that the first thing is the Namco Museum, the Pac-Man. I think that's kind of funny. But Fighters, Xenoverse 2. Still fucking surprised this series is, this game is still being supported. Naruto Shippuden, Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy, the Taiko no Tatsujin, which I didn't think that series would make a way outside of Japan. Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, Little Nightmares, My Hero Academia, One Piece, more Naruto, Tales of Vesperia, Sword Art Online, God Eater, One Piece, Naruto, Pac-Man, Dragon Ball Z. So pretty much a bunch of fucking anime. A bunch of anime shit with a few normal titles like the Dark Souls and Little Nightmares and stuff, but primarily anime stuff. So the question then becomes, well, what will Bandai put out in next year? Now, I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I think we'll get more Tales games. Well, see, look, I'm also promoting the sale because I think the sale ends today anyway, so. But yeah, I fucking, Tales games. I think we'll get more Tales sports this year. It seems weird to me. The only one we got was Vesperia, and I'm like, there's so many different Tales games. There's no way in my mind that makes me think that Tales of Vesperia is the only game that Nintendo's gonna get. Granted, they did get some of the older Tales game, but still. I know we're supposed to be getting Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Boruto to Naruto or Naruto to Boruto. So I know we already know about that. I'm imagining more Tales games. I think Little Nightmares 2 was confirmed for Switch. I know we're not getting Kakarot. I don't expect that. I think in terms of anime games, we know we're also getting My Hero 1 Justice 2. We're also getting Pirate Warriors 4. Both of those have been confirmed. And then we've been steadily getting updates for like Dragon Ball Fighters and Xenoverse 2. Like I said, we don't have like a lot of titles. And then God Eater 3 and that kind of stuff. I mean, to me, that's actually kind of how Tales is. So, the first question people were going to bring up was, what about Tekken? What about Tekken? And the last Tekken game we got was Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on the Wii U, which I don't think sold well. And supposedly that's been like a discussion topic. Let's be real here. Fighting games is kind of like our dead zone. Like, that's the shit we don't have a lot of. So, realistically, getting a Street Fighter or a Versus series or Tekken would be great. Whether or not that's going to happen is probably the main concern. I'm just scrolling down to see what we got. We got Kakarot in January, the One Punch Man game, My Hero, Cyberpunk, which I forgot was a Bandai game. What else? We know we got other. What other fucking Bandai games do we have? Let's see. We got Tales Arise next year, which I don't think we're gonna get. I don't even know what the fuck. Something called Twin Mirror. Digimon Survive, which I know we're already getting. We don't have a lot. Bandai's another one of those companies that's primarily, at least they put out like newer games. Like the remaster we got, God Eater 3 was new. Dragon Ball Fighters is new. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition was new. My Hero 1 Justice 1 and 2. Pirate Warriors 4 will be new. Like, we are getting newer games. Yeah, but Fairy Tail isn't Bandai. Fairy Tail isn't Bandai Namco. That's Gus. I think that's Koei Tecmo's B team. Yeah, that's Koei Tecmo's B team. That's not the same thing. And then Code Vein. Maybe. See, Bandai's harder for me because I don't have as well versed of knowledge of other games besides their anime ones. And almost all their anime ones we're getting, except for a few exceptions. And then if we're talking about ports of older games, they need to release like a Budokai collection. That's what they need to fucking do. I would fuck with a Budokai collection. The Storm games, we pretty much have all of them now. The Unlimited World games that are stuck on the Wii, I wouldn't mind a port of those. I probably wouldn't buy them though. Those games just don't like hold up after a while. For me personally. What else? What else we got? Actually, I wouldn't. Maybe a Pac-Land collection would be something I could see. I mean, Bandai has been a pretty decent Nintendo partner. It just brings up the question, like, how how far is that partnership gonna go? That's the question with that. Um, yeah, give me Tenkaichi 3. Yeah. They do ride off their anime games, which is what makes them hard. And like I said, we actually get pretty consistent support with the anime titles. Like we're getting fighter updates. Gundam, I know you guys care about. I could give a fuck less about Gundam, but Gundam wouldn't be a bad choice. I really think Tails. The fact that you got a new Tails game coming out, the JoJo games, all depend on whether or not they want to make. It also depends on what new games they make. Like we're not getting One Punch Man, which I don't know how much of a curse that's supposed to be, because I don't know if I view that as that bad. And like I said, we're getting Little Nightmares 2. That was already confirmed. Power Warriors 4. One Justice 2. Digimon Survive. Like, most of these games we get. There are other games we could do. It all just kind of depends. But like, as far as the anime support, we get pretty consistent anime support from Bandai. The problem is I don't really like a lot of Bandai's games as of lately. A lot of them have either been mediocre or what the fuck ever. Like One Piece Power Wars 4 might be like the only other. That and maybe the little. And Tales. If we got more Tales games, I would be more intrigued by that. I knew y'all were gonna do this. I don't know. I don't fuck that port of Jump Force. It's not worth it. The gameplay is pretty much J Stars. It's a neutered version of J Stars. If you played J Stars, you played Jump Force. It's literally the same thing. Oh, that's true. Soul Calibur. That's another one. We got Soul Calibur. We got Tekken. If you ask me which one's more likely, I would say Tekken. I think Tekken is more likely than Soul Calibur. Personally, anyway. Although I don't think either one of them is in the cards right now. Like, I don't think Bandai's overly concerned about it. Especially because they're making money for helping with Smash. So they're like, we're good. We're chilling. So, and maybe more Dark Souls. I keep getting Dark Souls and Demon Souls confused. I'm pretty sure Dark Souls, Demon Souls was the original, and then Dark Souls had to be the remake because Demon Souls was Xbox exclusive, which I think it's still. The IP is owned by Xbox. I like Unlimited World, but Unlimited World, unfortunately, is one of those things like I only enjoyed it at the time. I imagine if I replayed it now, I'd fucking hate it. Oh yeah, some Doc Hat sign games would probably be good too. But if I had to take guesses, I'm thinking towards Tales, because you have Arise coming out. It all kind of just depends on how these next few months go. It all depends on how these next few months goes. Oh no, Demon Souls is PlayStation. That's what I was thinking of. I knew Demon Souls was the original. And Dark Souls was made so they could have like one that went to all consoles and not just stuck on PlayStation. Yeah, it's Demon Souls. Okay. If I put it this way, we got another like Shonen Jump game. It needs to be a 2D fighter. I don't want to see a 3D fighter of nothing. If you give me another Shonen Jump title, it has got to be a 2D. I don't want no fucking 3D. The only 3D fighters I'm cool with from Bandai is fucking Soul Calibur and Tekken. Those are the only two I will accept. The other ones can go eat a dick. And that includes Dragon Ball. That includes One Piece. That includes My Hero. I don't need no... Naruto, also Naruto gets a pass. Naruto's been pretty okay. Although Naruto hasn't had a new fighting game since 4, I think. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 was the last one, I think. Power Warriors games are pretty much just... They're just fucking like Dynasty Warriors games with a One Piece skin on them. Now, granted, they try to do a lot of One Piece love and respect, and I appreciate it. It's probably the reason why I played them, but they're not like... They're just not like amazing. They're just kind of okay. But I think that's the gist of what we're gonna do here today. Because like I said, I have to go to work tomorrow, and those are all the major publishers. But real quick, I'll give you guys like 10 minutes if you guys want to. Well, I thought Road to Boruto was Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. If you have any questions you want to ask, or any other game suggestions you have that aren't necessarily covered by these four we did. Four? Yeah, Square, Capcom, Sega, and Bandai. You can suggest them. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, we're probably just going to get ports. Like, if we get new games, they're going to be like... They're going to come out of fucking nowhere kind of new games. Because, like, when we come to Nintendo games... I think... Oh, God. I forgot about Strikers. I don't count Strikers because Strikers is essentially an online game, not a fucking, like, legit fighting game. But I guess technically Naruto Strikers was the last Naruto game. The third birthday. You said 13th before. Red Dragon, what does that mean? You're just saying the third birthday. Is there more to that statement that I'm just not getting, or what? Ubisoft has stuff they could port. I mean, I guess I can quickly pull up Ubisoft and check. I think at this point, people are just wanting a new Rayman game. Nigga, we just like, where's Rayman? Give us Rayman! That's literally what it's boiled down to. Like, if we can get Rayman, everything will be good. The problem is that we can't seem to get Rayman, and that's what makes people angry. Main page. I don't bang on that because it's fucking Konami, and Konami's been pretty what the fuck ever as of lately. So I'm not putting nothing past them at all. Cause I just don't trust them motherfuckers. Oh, Jesus. That's what they should try to do, but I don't think they're going to. I'm also, side note, still fucking annoyed that for some stupid reason, Tokyo Mirage Sessions doesn't support cloud saves. That shit's stupid as hell to me. Sorry, just a side note, I'm looking through the damn eShop and I see it and I'm just like, it's so fucking dumb. Didn't Assassin's Creed come out like somewhat recently? It's like an easy way for me to find Ubisoft is just to find Assassin's Creed. Or as some would say, Ass Creed. Not everybody would say Ass Creed. I just say Ass Creed. Where the fuck? Oh, there you are. I knew you were here. I just didn't know where you were. Well, yeah, Spike Chunsoft, it's kind of a lower tier developer. That's why I don't bring them up as much. If you look at actually Ubisoft has a lot too, but it's primarily Just Dance, Mario Rabbids, Rayman, the South Park games, Starlink, Assassin's Creed, a bunch of low tier ass games, some of the Trials games. Looks like that's it. So it's not a lot. And then no, Street Fighter 5. Oh, I guess that's true. Street Fighter's always been 2D though. Like Street Fighter is not really, when I talk about Street Fighter, that's not the example I would go with anyway. I'm just talking about like other anime games. I'm talking about like Bandai. Bandai needs to stop that shit. I can't pronounce your name because it's in Japanese, but hi. Hi, Japanese symbols. Yeah, there is no translation for that. Fuck. Oh well, it's fine. But yeah, let's see. PKMD is done. Oh really? I'm surprised. Okay. I don't even. Well, they could do Watch Dogs. They probably would do 1, not 2. Let's see. Sprites are drawn. Danganronpa is another one because I feel like that series kind of died with the Vita. Because it was only on the Vita, wasn't it? It was the Vita and the PSP is when it started. Hi, Kanji. The name is Final. The name is Final Fantasy? You guys are stupid is what you are. I love you, but you're fucking stupid sometimes. His name is Finiru. Everybody go translate to Japanese. His name is Final. Tyrone, what are you still doing here? You haven't contributed at all. Dickhead. The next, and then we got the Gods and Monsters. That's the only other title we have. Oh no, we have that disc. What the hell is that disc jockey game they had? What was it called? Like Disc Jam? Is that what it was called? What was it called? The one they showed off at E3 that like you throw discs around, but it's like you're skating and shit. That was the only other title I could think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I kind of figured you had, Tyrone, because you hadn't really said much in our chat. But we can talk about that later. But yeah. I think that's pretty much it. This will be the last another Manic episode for this year. Oh, it's been on PC and PS4, okay. But a lot of Japanese third parties since the move to Switch. Yeah, I feel like that's what's gonna have to happen because it's not like anyone else is making handhelds. So Switch is kind of their refuge for right now. But yeah, like I said, this is probably the last Manic episode for this year. So, and we're at 19 fucking episodes. Considering I came up with this idea on a whim, I'm very happy. I've been pretty consistent. Yes, I am gonna get Resident Evil 3 remake because a lot of people liked it. I enjoyed 2 remake more than I thought I would, and 3 at least seems to have better mechanics. So I am probably gonna get that too. I may not get that at launch because there'll be other games coming out, but like it will be bought and be played. But yeah, anyways, I really do want to appreciate and I thank everybody for supporting these videos because even though the views have been like around the 200s, I mean, fuck it, that's consistent. That's consistency, damn it. Like I said, I've always been a guy that's like, if you can consistently do okay, it's better than doing really good and really bad all over the place. That'll be a video probably next year. I want to wait until a Nintendo Direct, and if we don't get a Nintendo Direct announced or happening like by January, then I'll probably do it then. I don't want to do it now though. And that's fine. I prefer my action to horror, so that'll make me feel better. The stores coming out of nowhere, that won't make me feel better. But yeah. Anyways, damn it, you guys are distracting me. Listen. I still have to go to the gym, and I still need to do the Pokemon episode review. So, I gotta get off of here. You guys like to try to keep me on with your conversations and good talking. How fucking dare you guys? How dare you be this fucking supportive? I don't deserve any of this shit. Leave me the fucking alone. But no, in all seriousness though, I really do appreciate the support. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. I used to get like a good consistent 20 viewers. That's like my average. I appreciate it. I appreciate a lot of it, yo. And I'm gonna try to come up with more ways of making this more entertaining. I want to start like having guests and shit, but like only one person, because realistically, if we do the talking with like 6 different people, becomes a whole nother thing. Unless I dedicate a specific episode to that. Also, I have to dedicate like 3 hours because let's be real here. There's no way I'm gonna get a bunch of people in here and we're only gonna talk for 1 hour. This is not gonna happen. I can do it, but not for like 5 or 6 people. But yeah. Have a happy new year. Hopefully you'll be able to walk into 2020 with your head held high, or you were able to start 2020 with your feet already running. I don't know if this won't be the last video you see from me in general, but it might be. This is definitely the last Manic episode you'll see this year. So, with all that being said, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. All that other shit. Thanks for following. And look forward to next year where things will get even crazier and funner. And now I'm about to go kill myself at the gym because dedication is how we move forward. So, life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. I did not plan this out, which you can tell through my idiocy. Peace. One Piece.